Lately, I've received a lot of questions surrounding my diet, and while a good diet and good food plays a role in hair growth, it's not as complicated as it sounds, and following a complicated diet isn't going to get you amazing hair growth. So here are all the changes that I made to my diet that went along with the derma rolling and other natural hair care techniques that allowed me to get the hair growth that I see today. I pointed out in past videos that high amounts of caffeine can lead to an increase in stress hormones such as cortisol. This doesn't mean that you have to completely cut out caffeine, it just means that you don't want to overdo it. Because I found it impossible to completely cut coffee out of my life, I still have 1 cup of coffee early in the morning. I make sure that this cup of coffee happens after I'm fully awake so that my natural cortisol levels can kick in. By doing so, I don't have to drink as much coffee. It also aligns any spikes in cortisol with my body's natural circadian rhythm, and I never have any sort of caffeine after 12 p.m. That way, I can get the proper sleep that my hair needs. You can also drink tea. Tea is full of antioxidants, and it doesn't have as high levels of caffeine as an energy drink or coffee. Tea also has compounds in it that prevent the caffeine from causing you to get the jitters and spiking your cortisol too high. I dramatically lowered my salt and sugar levels. High salt levels can affect your blood circulation, which affects your hair growth. High sugar levels can affect your blood sugar, leading to insulin resistance. I need to be particularly careful of those two things because I'm African American, so I'm already predisposed to them. Whenever you have high levels of insulin, it inhibits your liver from binding to free testosterone, which allows more of that testosterone to be converted to DHT. So simply by just reducing all the excess sugar in your life, you can help protect your liver, stave off diabetes, and protect your hair at the same time. By increasing my vegetable intake, I'm also increasing my fiber intake, which does the same thing for my insulin levels. It helps to keep them low. And on a secondary note, there has been an increase in the number of colon cancer incidents, mainly in young people. By increasing your levels of fiber, you can prevent colon cancer in the future. Keep in mind that carbs such as bread, pasta, rice, they also convert into sugar, and they can raise your insulin levels if you consume too much of them. Now, part of having a healthy diet is finding what foods work for you. Not all vegetables and fruits are going to sit well with you, and not all fruits and vegetables sit well with me. I have a select few that I love to choose from: broccoli and onions. Those two I probably consume more than anything else. They're both full of fiber, particularly onions. Broccoli and onions are also a good combination for reducing inflammation. Scalp biopsies taken of androgenetic alopecia patients showed micro levels of inflammation around the hair follicles driven by the immune system itself. Broccoli and onions in particular both carry anti-inflammatory compounds that will reduce this. Broccoli also goes a long way to supporting healthy liver function, your liver being the organ that removes excess testosterone from your system, preventing it from becoming DHT that attacks your hair. Make sure that you stay hydrated and try and stick to water, not sugary drinks, not drinks full of caffeine. Water will allow your blood to flow better by changing the viscosity or thickness of your blood, allowing that blood to reach the extremities of your body, such as your hair follicles, and deliver vital nutrients that they need. I upped my potassium. By including more potassium-rich foods, I improve my blood circulation and my blood pressure. Minoxidil also works for potassium levels to improve blood circulation. So in a way, by boosting my natural potassium, I'm using a makeshift natural minoxidil, but without all the chemicals. On days where I don't get a lot of potassium, I also like to use potassium salt. Now, potassium salt can go a long way to helping your blood pressure, your blood circulation, and improving your overall health, but you want to consult with a doctor if you have kidney issues, heart issues, or are on blood pressure medication or blood thinners. Protein. Make sure that you keep your protein levels up. I try and get at least 100 grams of protein a day. That allows for the basic building blocks of hair to be available for when my body needs them. When consuming 100 grams of protein, you want to make sure that you avoid processed meats. Stick to lean meats such as chicken, fish, and eggs, having pork and beef sparingly. Yeah, I know chicken isn't as natural as it used to be in the past, but we're just talking about going for the better option here. I also consume a lot of beans and spinach. They both contain good amounts of iron, which allows for more oxygen to reach my hair follicles, further improving growth. I also consume a lot of salad. Yeah, I know about the recent outbreak of parasitic infections. I just try and be particularly careful by checking the sources of those salads and lettuce before I buy them. You can easily do this using your smartphone. Before you buy a package of lettuce or pre-made salad, look up the brand, look up the vendors, make sure it's coming from a good, safe source and doesn't have any recalls or medical incidents from people eating eating it. The salads, along with the bell pepper, provide me with ample amounts of vitamins and nutrients, including vitamin C. Vitamin C is very important when it comes to getting iron to your body in order to boost those oxygen levels. And last but certainly not least is I avoid plastics and artificial dyes. Plastics and artificial dyes not only drive inflammation in your body, but they cause specific hormone imbalances, which can not only hurt your hair, but can hurt your fertility levels as well. I no longer use plastic knives, forks, or spoons. I don't use paper plates, which are also lined with plastic. I don't use plastic containers to store my food. I don't drink out of plastic water bottles. I filter my water, or I buy water in a glass bottle. Without any blood tests, I can't really know for sure that it's making a difference, but I do encourage you to watch the Netflix documentary Plastic Detox in order to see the profound effect where removing excess plastic from the environment had a very positive effect on a select number of couples trying to become pregnant. When these couples removed excess plastic from their environment, the men saw a dramatic increase in the number of sperm as well as the health of those sperm, and several of those couples went on to become pregnant after trying for years prior. So as you can see, making a healthy diet for hair loss isn't that complicated. Stay hydrated, plenty of protein, eat your fruits and veggies, and avoid plastic and artificial dyes in order to boost your nutrients and avoid any type of hormone disruptors. That way there's no hindrance to natural DHT blockers and derma rolling or any other hair loss treatment that you might seek. Omega-3 and vitamin D are also things that you definitely need in order for hair growth. Omega-3 will reduce the inflammation in your body, and vitamin D will help with your hair growth cycle. You can get these with food, but I also advise you to go to a doctor and get a blood test for your vitamin D levels just to make sure that they're where they need to be. If not, your doctor can prescribe supplements in order to help you. I hope to catch you in the next video. Karashi out.